So now you finally settled on the house that you want to buy and or probably move in, and you are eager to get unpacked and to start decorating your new place. But listen to this first before you probably make that mistake. So this is Matters Real Estate. Welcome back to Q&A session. Subscribe and like and share the video. Before you complete your tour of your potential new unit, you need to review list of some of the things that you want to look for before you move in. You don't want to be this person who moves into a particular property and you realize that this particular thing is not working, or this window, the door, the bathroom and all that is not working. So in this video, I want to go through some of the ultimate moving checklist. So what you need to look for before you move in. And on top of the list is that there are quite a number of things that you probably need to look for, which on top of the list is the floors. So you want to look for scratches, loose tiles on the floor, and then be certain that all the tiles are there and nothing is missing. For kitchen and bathrooms, ensure that they are better inspected. The floor is mopped and swept, and like I've said, tiles are not missing, scrapped, or popping out. Because remember that all these things determine the value of the house if you are buying it, or if you are moving it into rent. Know that when you are moving out, you might be asked to replace some of these things, like I did in the other video. Those things might as well compromise your deposit refund when you are moving out. So on number 2, you want to check on the walls and ensure that the paint is consistent throughout the whole house. I mean, the house is painted well. Make sure that there are no stains on the walls, and if the walls are wood paneled, be sure that they are not loose or they don't have rotten boards. So ensure that the walls don't have any sign of cracking or repairs, and there are no water seepage problems. So ensure that before you move in, the house is in good order. Like I've said, this also determines the value of the house. Number 3 is the windows. Make sure that the windows actually open, and actually try to open them yourself. Remember that you face a huge safety hazard if the windows don't open properly, because if something happens and you want to probably escape and all that, and the windows don't open, this might be one of the security problems you don't want to be faced with. Make sure that each room has at least one window which can open, and that the windows are not leaking, the glass is not broken, and you don't want to have a broken panes of glass either. The next thing is check on the electricity. Make sure that all the switches and sockets are working in all the rooms, and that there are no loose hanging wires in every room. And understand that you'll be the one who will be responsible for changing the bulbs and sockets once you move in. So you want to ensure that they are working before you move in the first place. And on item number 5 is you want to check if it's an apartment or is a shared kind of neighborhood. You want to ensure that there's a fire exit kind of arrangement. You want to ensure that there's an emergency exit, there's a fire extinguisher, which can be an added advantage. And if there is none of them, you can probably have plans to replace it. The other things is you want to check out the utility bills, water and electricity, because we have stories of people moving, and before you know it, you are slapped with a huge bill, and probably from 2 or 3 tenants who have moved out before. So you want to check the latest bill and ensure that the bill corresponds to the last meter readings. So ensure that the current readings are indicated in the inventory to avoid paying someone else's bill, like I've said. So always ensure that the bills are up to date and they are paid up to date as well. The next item is bathrooms, and Ensure the bathroom and the showers are working, water does not overflow. If it is cold or hot, ensure that there's no leakage on the walls of the shower, or there's nothing missing. There are no molds which kind of develop when there are leakages around the shower. So check out the toilets as well. Are they clean? Do they flush properly? Do they run when they are not in use or not? Make sure that there are no leakages around there. And as well, look at the sinks. Check if the water drains properly, and also be sure to check the cabinet and the sink and ensure that there's no leaky water or molds or any strange smells that may come out of leakage. So ensure that all the plumbing issues are in order before you move in. The next item will be the bedroom and the doors. And ensure all the doors, look at all the doors of the unit. All of them should be able to shut or close tightly and fit properly in the frame. There should be no problem with the doorknobs or any locks. So check to see that the paint is not mismatching, that the paint is done well in a consistent way across all the bedrooms. And then the other one is the kitchen. And if, for example, your house comes with a fitted cooker or stove, whatever it is, make sure that it works properly, all the switches work, and all the burners get hot when you turn them on. So check also the pipes in the kitchen and ensure that they are working on well. If it's a furnished apartment, ensure that, or rather take a good look at the fridge. Is it cold? Is there mold in there? Is it clean? Did the last tenant throw away the remaining food? So ensure that you check all those things. Ensure that the house is kind of working on properly. And on the last thing, you want to check that if the house that you are moving in has pest issues, because you don't want to move in and discover that you have cockroaches and all that coming around. It is necessary to ensure that if there are rodents or pests in the house get treated, because understand that it's easier to kind of deal with these things when the house is empty than when you move in. If the house has rats, ensure that, or if the neighborhood has rats, ensure that you treat or you put in the treatment before you move in. Because like I've said, it is easier to treat the house when it is empty or when you've not moved in yet than after you move in. So we always hear of tenants complaining that I moved in and this happened, because understand that each landlord is out there to make their house look good and attractive to the next client. So sometimes these things might not be easily visible, but once you do a keen check or once you check properly, you are able to note all those things before you move in. You don't want to move in and before 1 month is finished, you start complaining of this and that. So ensure that you check the house, you check everything in the house before you move in. Otherwise, you'll be a victim of saying that you got shortchanged or this and this happened. So always ensure that you do your due diligence, whether you're moving in to rent or whether you're moving in that house that you just newly bought. So thank you so much for watching. Stick around for many more videos of the real estate content, so that you ensure that you get educated on matters real estate.